Hi, Julie Torrance here. So we're going to keep going on making some snippet rolls, only we don't roll them up. Um, I am getting ready to work on another journal or two. This color is Rosy Posy, and it is an archival from Ranger. And this stamp is called Quadrifoil. And it's from Stamp Abilities, and I got it at a garage sale, so it's old. I've got two pieces of, let's get them together more. This is tracing paper, and I've got it cut into 3 inches wide. Oh, that's good. I like that color. I wanted to use some color instead of all vintage photo and gray and brown. I wanted to get this background just a little more color. So let's get this on here. So these are, it's like you're creating ephemera all in one strip, and then you can kind of cut them up or tear them up however you want. I realize that you cannot see the top and the bottom at the same time, but if I had the camera out that far, you would not be able to see much of anything because you're just so far away. So thanks for understanding. I've got a piece of wax paper under this for right now because I'm trying to avoid getting the ink on my desk. My desk is pretty easy to clean, but this ink is powerful. So I know that I'm kind of using the last with these sort of shadow or ghost prints, but it's enough. I'm going to move this over. And there. That's good. That's very good. I like that. Okay, we're done with this one. Let's cover it up. Now, I want these to be, what would you call it? Landscape. Because I've got the other ones all made in this portrait orientation, and I thought, well, that's good for tags and things, but if I want to decorate a pocket, I may want them to go more in a landscape orientation. So that's what I want to do with this. So I'm done with the pink. I've got these words, and this is cursive writing, and it is supposed to say, I don't know what it says, but it's supposed to be something talking about botanicals in French. So we're just going to get some of this on the background. This is my distress colors, but it's the archival ink. So I've got vintage photo, black soot, ground espresso, and hickory smoke. And I think I'm just going to go right into both the hickory smoke and the ground espresso and just start putting some of this on. And will it be perfect? Far from it. It's all right. Okay, so I wanted to see which way the writing was, because I want to keep going in that kind of a direction. And it's going to be irregular, and that's totally fine with me. And some of it's going to be light, and some of it's going to be dark, and some of it's going to be brown, and some of it's going to be gray. You get the idea. Yep, that's fine. A little more. And a couple more. Maybe this here. Okay, I like that just fine. I'm going to need that. I'm going to set the stamp aside. And now I think we can get rid of this, and that'll help that we can see a little bit better what we've got. Although my desk it's getting in need of a good wipe again. But I just wanted to keep going. All right, so we've got these two. That pink almost looks red. It doesn't bother me. All right, next up, I want to get maybe some, I've got some scraps here. Maybe some book page scraps, maybe some colored scraps. I'll start out with a few of the color scraps, but we don't have to go necessarily with that all the way. And I've got some book page scraps, and let's get a little of that. Okay, this is just lined paper. I'm going to skip that. Here's some little bit of words. Let's get some more words. All right, let's see where that gets us. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a little bit of color. Got my glue book. So how are you? Are you working on a journal, maybe in your art journal, or I'm going to use my Uhu glue stick. Are you thinking about making a journal? That's what's on my mind, is I want to start another journal. But with the last two, which were my first two journals, I noticed that having to stop and make embellishments and an ephemera along the way, it kind of breaks your thoughts. You know what I mean? And so I thought, I think I would rather have at least some made ahead. So that's what I'm trying to do. So in kind of a mass make style, I've been making these snippets where you just kind of go across and create some ephemera that you can later either tear apart or cut apart and use them on your tags, your pockets, and things like that. Put this here. I like the way this is looking. I like all the color. I like color. I have seen art done in neutrals. I think it's beautiful, but after a little while, I start thinking, I want some color. So we're working with some color. And I don't even know what color I'm going to be making these journals, but we've certainly got a variety. All right, now let's start off maybe with some of these. This is some ephemera that I fussy cut, and it's from I think Linda. And she sent it in one of my swaps. And I just love it. So I fussy cutted them out, and I think they're fun. There's 1, 2, 3. It seems like 3 is really the way to go. So 1, 2, and now this one can have more like that. And let's see, I think that's the end of the clocks. Yeah, I've got a jar. This jar could go behind that flower. Good. I like that one. A little something with it. Let's see. Butterfly? Just kind of blends in. Maybe we'll use a label or a sticker or something. So I've got this camera. Let's do that. Okay, I think that's a good way to start now. I'm not going to glue them down because I'm thinking about, again, backgrounds. I cut out from a dictionary these little pictures. Oh, careful, blowing everything away. These little pictures that I thought, instead of labels, maybe they would be fun. And I thought, if I'm using a lot of bold color, this might be the way to go. And so let's put some of those in here. What do you say? All right, let's get some inking up going on here. And I guess I'll start over here and work my way around. I am using the vintage photo on these edges. The edges are very white. So I'm just gonna give them a little touch. And this one, it is gorgeous weather, and there's geese families. I think I counted about 11 little goslings. So cute. They're about a third the size of their parents, and these are big Canadian geese. But they call them lakes, but they're ponds, but they're good size. And there's a couple of them in my complex, and the ducks and the geese just love them, and I just love seeing the ducks and the geese. So there we have it. All right, now I'm not even really getting in all the grooves of this one, but touch here, touch there, it'll make a difference. Okay, and the camera. I remember when cameras looked like this, like a Browning with the big flash, blind you. Ooh. Okay, now these, do they need inking up? Like, here's one that's a map. That would look kind of cool here. I don't think so. All right, so let's just start working one at a time. And I'm gonna glue this guy down. I like that map there. And I think with the red and the teal going on behind it, I think that shows up nice. I'm wondering about up here. Well, the clock is up there. Let's try, we'll put the clock on and see, because the clock is very neutral, but it stands out nice. And I think since that one's flat up against this paper, it's fine, but this one's going to be on top of the clock, so I'm going to give it some art glitter glue. Try to get it all the way on the edges. And there. I think that is going to look sweet. Good. Okay, now we've got the jar up here, the flower here, and maybe we can put a little something. Let's see. I've got this lady playing a harp. She can go there. Sure she can. I'm going to move everything over, I think, just a touch. All right. Now we've got those inked up, so she just needs to go down. I thought this would give it a different look so that as I'm building, because I don't have a huge stash by any means, and by just changing things up a little bit here and there, it won't look like I made everything on the same day. I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's the case. Let me bring this jar down just a touch. Okay, and again, this flower is going to be going over the jar. So, and it's not thin like the dictionary. And I think it would make it a little bit harder for this to want to lay down flat. So I'm art glitter gluing it up. This glue is strong and dries fast. I like that. These two ended up a little close together, but I'm not worried about it. All right, this one. Maybe the camera could go here. Trying to figure out like that. The camera can scoot over a little bit. All right, maybe a couple of these. Like I've got this little one. It says the guy is a harlequin. He can go right there on the edge. And then maybe I have another map. I think that looks good. Let's get those down. All right, first camera. Let me know in the comments what you think and if this is a project you would take on. Now, tracing paper. This can go way over. I bought this tracing paper at an office supply store out here, Office Depot. We also have Staples. So, you know, it's what kind of a big box, but it's office supplies, everything from office furniture. But they have a children's section. Well, it looks like a children's section to me, but I believe it's set up for teachers. I'm sure it is, because you can buy crayons in bulk, like a box of red, a box of yellow, and then you can buy little sets. But I believe it's the idea is teachers. But in there, they had little pads of tracing paper. Now, they also had big rolls of tracing paper, and that was in their kind of, blueprint. What are those guys called? You know, that the people that do that kind of work, drafting. And it was a big roll. Wasn't particularly expensive, but it would have been a lot for me to handle. Where this was already, it's like, I want to say maybe it's 9 by 11 pad. Not expensive. Good. So that's how I got this tracing paper. Okay. I see a little trouble spot right here. Give it a little more glue. And another one here. Okay. Good. All right. I'm going to set it aside and look. Wow. I'm just getting all inked up. All kinds of stuff. Set it aside and let's start on this one. Okay, so we used the colored ones. So this next time, I'm going to use this type of book page. Let's get it on. That looks nice. I don't think we want this graph. Oh, well, but we've got nice words on this side. Let's go for that. So do you ever just sit and kind of mass make? Those of you who've done journals and are a lot more accustomed to the making of journals, is that what you do? Do you know, that red is coming up on me. Oh, well. All the same family. Got this words. This is a little bit shinier, but that's okay. Just going to get rid of the white if I can. I'm going to go right there. I have watched mass makes, but I always thought it was more for someone who has an Etsy shop, which I don't yet. I'm thinking about it, but I don't have one yet. And they're making like, well, I think again of Gail Costanelli. It's nothing for her to go to a retreat and come back with 7 brand new journals. So I thought that was more for mass making, where I'm just kind of poking along one at a time. But no, even at one at a time, you use up a lot. At least I did. And so making them in mass makes more sense to me now than it did at the beginning. Okay. Okay, now, should I just take these little pictures that I have and just kind of scatter them like I did another one that I did where I just did postage stamps kind of that way? I think I will. Let's do that. And maybe they'll get covered up. Maybe they won't. You know what? I'm going to chip these all off. I know, but can you see how they're sticking? That's because this glue page needs to move along. Oh boy. Mr. Hawk. There we go. Oh, for crying out loud. There you go. Enough. Enough. All right. Here we go. Let's get it gluing. I'm not even paying attention to which one I pick up. I'm just grabbing and going. There. It was fun to cut these out of this dictionary. The dictionary, it's the kind of dictionary, I mean, I recognize the cover right away from when I was in grade school. And someone wrote in a Sharpie marker on the spine, dictionary, so that it would be really obvious. And think about it, I graduated high school in 1976. Some of you may not have even been born then. But, yeah. It was fun to see it, and I grabbed it. It was at a thrift store, and I think all the hardbacks were just $1. Books are not as expensive as they used to be when you would go to thrift stores, other than, and they almost have them in a separate place on their own, recipe books, cookbooks. I think people still are buying those as much as they ever did, but not the other books. Now, when you're picking out books for book page, dictionaries, I think, are always fun. Most churches, I say most, how do I know? I think a lot of churches are getting away from hymnals because they're putting the words up on screens. And so I am finding hymnals here and there, and I love to add music note paper to my work. So I've been grabbing hymnals when I see them, any sheet music, but that's not always so easy to find. I like the way these look. Aren't they fun? Here's a globe. Let's put it on. And then we'll have that part done. And then we can start looking for some ephemera to go on top. You know what? There was an extra sheet under there. Good. Good. Won't go to waste. Okay. Now, which of these ephemeras? The ones in here are awfully big, so I'm going to set this one aside. These are a little bit smaller. They have a different look and feel than the other things we just used, but I do like them. And these roses, not that one. I think they can look nice. these blue flowers, a blue rose. Now that's as if I'm going to make 4. I know I need to stretch them out because that's the idea, right, Julie? Okay, leaves. I may have to go into one of my other bins for leaves. This might have, remember I said, well, only if you watched the other video would you remember, that I said leaves can be a little bit hard to come by. But let's just see. And they don't have to look like rose leaves. They're just fantasy flowers anyway. Put that one there. Oh, this is a little rosebud. We can work with that. Let's see. I've got this little leaf, and I've got this little flower. That can go over there. Why not? And that little flower. Get you a leaf or 2 or 3. I have more leaves than I thought. Oh, look at that. Let's put that there. This is a little leaf. Just set it there for right now. And here's another leaf. I've got some of these that are kind of darker. I call those little shadow leaves. All right. It's just looking to me like we've kind of got some spaces. Maybe that'll end up getting cut in half, but do we care? This one is crowded enough because he's got those little guys with him. Maybe this one. I'm just going to grab a couple more leaves and then let's start sticking these down. There's a leaf. There's a leaf. We know that I don't end up putting these exactly where they were. Here's a little bud. That'll look good. This bud doesn't have any greenery on it. I could put it with a leaf. Maybe that's what I'll do. One more leaf. Here? Nope. Oh, we've got a lot of these little flowers. One more leaf. Come on. That's fine. All right. Let's see what we can do with this. That took that down quite a bit. Good. All right. Well, this has got to be art glitter glue because this is mixed media paper and it tends to be absorbent and it absorbs up a lot of this glue. But it's no match for art glitter glue. Yep, so the next project, once I feel like I've got enough stash of things to embellish with, is the 4 envelope. So you need 4 envelopes the same size. And you want them to be heartier envelopes, not those real thin, almost transparent ones, but some nice envelopes. This does take just another moment to kind of get it to go down. All right, let's get this leaf. Are you liking this idea? Do you think it's fun? I think it's fun. I'm enjoying myself. this one needs a leaf. It's a little clover picture there. So yesterday, I was babysitting my grandson. He's 1.5, almost. He'll be 2 in July, and this is May. And he has hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's a virus, but they get a rash. Now, he didn't just get the rash on his hands and feet. He got the rash, some on his arms, some on his legs as well. But it was going through his little, I call it school. I mean, they work like school there, where he goes for daycare, but he couldn't go back. No matter how he felt, no matter how he looked, he could not go back until Thursday. Yesterday was Monday. So I went and spent the day with him so his mom and dad could work. And well, it was a fun day, great day. So grateful. It's a sweet little guy. And we were outside for a long time in the morning, and then in the afternoon, he didn't really want to go out. We played indoors with some of his toys, and we just had a great time. I enjoyed myself, and I know I heard he slept well last night, so that's always a good sign that things went well. I've kind of lost my direction as to where all this stuff goes, but we'll figure it out. There we go. And one more over here. There's kind of a weird space here. I gotta find a leaf or a flower or something to go in there. Little shadow leaf. So that was my Monday. My daughter-in-law asked me when I offered to stay with him Monday. She said, "Well, aren't you busy?" I said, "Yes, of course I'm busy. I need to make videos and things because, you know, I still work. But I said, this is way more important to be with him." I think it was down here that I was thinking we needed a little something. Can't say it's my favorite. How about this? I like it better. It's a little big. Yeah, it's a little big, but I liked it better. I'm still looking. Okay. I like that. Yep. So, how many of you are retired or still working? I cannot retire if I want. I don't know, you know, what do they say, full retirement age or whatever. That for me is 66 and 8 months. So I can't do that, but I am in the process because I turned 65 in July. This is May. But you need to apply for your Medicare, which is the insurance part. It has nothing to do with your income. You know, like what I was just talking about, your retirement money. This is just Medicare, and so that's the insurance part of it all. That you do still at 65. So I'm in the process of that. And, they say, avoid the lines, avoid all the commotion of going to the Social Security office. You can do it all online. And they encourage you, please sign up online. Okay. So I signed up online. Yay. No problem. No problem. But then when you're all done, it tells you that any documents that were involved, like my birth certificate, you have to come into Social Security so that they can feel the or see the either they want to see the seal where they can feel that it was embossed, or they want to be able to see like some kind of a something that lets them know it's the real McCoy. And I thought, well, I thought the whole idea was that I didn't have to come in. Oh, but no. So I should be doing that today, but no, I don't need to do it today. I mean, I could, but no. Next week. And maybe not next week, because I'm having company. We'll see. I have until, 3 months after my birthday? They want you to sign up 3 months before to 3 months after you turn 65. So I've got time. And I'm not procrastinating. It doesn't have to be a real busy time for me to get that done. At least that's how I see it. But yes, if you're getting into that age group, read all the fine print, I guess, is the only thing I can say about that. I'm liking this. I like that we've got mass color over more neutral. Yes, we've got that bright reddish, pinkish going on, but we've covered up so much of it. What are you? Oh. Little rose. And then this guy. Let's put this right here. And then this. See two places that might be nice. Either up here or down here. And I think I'm going to go down here. And where's my paper towel? Okay. Now these flowers are very fanciful. And when this is all dry, I very well may take a Sharpie marker, a black fine tip marker, and just outline all of them. And I think it'll really homogenize it, but the glue is too wet. So there's one. Oh, that's two. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we made this one just now, and then we've got this one. I think they came out great. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me. We got done with those two a lot faster than I thought we would. It's been great fun. Please consider thumbs up for liking. And you've been with me this long. If you haven't subscribed, today's the day. Hit that subscribe and I will see you all in another video. Bye now.